Hi there, Life Coach Carey Bailey here, and we are starting a new round of tips and tricks. This is going to be the From Juggling to Joy series, and we are going to be looking at how we move from being people who constantly feel like they're juggling things over the next 6 weeks to being people who live in joy, people who live in this season rejoicing that God sent Jesus to be with us here on this earth. And so a couple weeks ago at a marriage conference, I heard the speaker say, why is it that you allow culture to define your marriage over scripture? And I was like, oh goodness, that convicted me inside of my marriage, but it also convicted me inside of the holidays. Why do I allow culture to define the holidays more than I allow scripture? And I had to come to the reality of the fact that this whole season, these next 4-6 weeks, whenever you're watching this, are man-made. They're man-made. They're not God-made. And so when I took a step back and recognized that and confessed that to my own self, it dramatically shifted the way that I want to spend this holiday season. And so the first thing that I had to do was sit down and find my grounding verse, my verse that is going to remind me that when things get crazy, when I start feeling like I'm juggling all the things that culture is telling me I should be doing in the next 6 weeks, that I have a place to go and say, no, it's okay, that I'm simply enjoying, rejoicing in the fact that God came to be with us through a baby, so that we can come back to him one day after our time on this earth is done. And so my scripture is going to come from John chapter 1, verse 14. And let me grab my Bible so I can read it to you. But it says, "And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us." I love that. "And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. And we have seen his glory, glory as the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth." So that's going to be where I go this season. When things start to feel crazy, when I feel like I have to give one more yes, when I feel like I'm juggling the expectations of others and the expectation of Pinterest and TV and friends and family, I'm going to remember that that's not what this is about. This is about the Word becoming flesh and coming to dwell with us. And so what will your verse be? That is our first challenge, to get from being people who juggle to being people who have joy this season, is to know and claim your From Juggling to Joy verse, where you can rejoice in God being with us. So that's challenge number 1. I've given you a little printable that you can use, and I will see you back here next week when we talk about all the things we're juggling this season. Okay, bye.